Osiris.
Visions of a memory past, concepts related in contrast. If only there was a way.
Awesome.
No.
Great
No,
Beyond
we don't have a
Live.
document.
Bruce, we got a document?
No, we don't got a document.
We
This isn't Mar-a-Lago. Greg, we don't have documents all over the place.
Yo,
Jokes.
Bruce, where are the documents?
No,
Oh man.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got our first call-in guest, RJB.
calling
RJ,
in the troubleshoot.
you are live on The Great Beyond.
I love being live on The Great Beyond.
That's how I would react as well.
Yeah, Bruce said that's how he'd react. We're live. We got it all figured out. In fact, everyone at home doesn't know we had any technical difficulties.
No, they just assume we had the usual technical difficulties.
Yeah, they think we're just lazy, really.
Right. And disorganized possibly is another one.
No. If the band won't come out on time, neither will we.
Neither of which are true.
I mean,
we're
am I
back.
sharing this?
Yeah, Bruce is going to throw this in El Goose. We're going to figure out how to podcast again. We forgot how all of this works.
That.
But yes, the feeling I forgot. When Joey and I are in the same room, how about that?
Yeah.
What's up, Joey?
Hey, cheers.
I'm here with the podcast heartthrob himself, Mr. Joey Parisi.
I don't know about that. I think that's that title's changed.
Oh,
I think the torch has been passed.
Thank you, Joey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Look at Shades over there.
Oh, Shades McGee. So we are back.
Yo, Joey coming in hot, by the way. Got some mic
hot.
checks. We have some new equipment here on the podcast.
Is Joey spicy? Joey spicy on the mic?
Joey's been spicy for the last however many episodes. I forget since they were spaced out a little too much.
Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, let us know if Joey is too spicy. All right, so we're back here for a live episode. We haven't done this in a long time. Can't really remember these guys' names. Thank you to all 9 of you who are watching thus far.
Wow, we have 9 already. That's impressive.
Yeah. We're still we're all still alive. We're all still alive. But a lot to discuss today. A lot of cute shows last week. Jesse in the building. Bruce, your sunglasses are too damn spicy. Right amount of spice.
That's what we're looking for. It's like Cholula in here.
That's
you know,
right. That's right. He's Johnny. Have I missed anything? You will not miss anything by the end of the episode.
No, there's nothing to miss today.
Yes, or all to be missed. So welcome back. We are so excited to be live. Fall tour is in full swing. We are very much still recovering from the shows this spring, but great to see the guys back on the road, coming out hot, swinging through the red states, play some hot fire. So we're going to check out Bruce's pet project, elgoose.net, and check out some set lists. And we're going to dig into what happened last week. I mean, it's crazy to think that what have they been on the road for 10 days?
The 29th. Yeah.
So thereabouts.
We
11,
really did our research
days?
here. I hope Ryan's
13 days.
13 days.
How many days are in?
Is there a leap day?
Just ended?
Do a leap day. So we're not going to talk Richmond. I think Richmond had its time to shine, and frankly, it's old news by now.
Okay. Let's just jump.
It's old.
Let's just jump right to Big Boy.
Yeah,
we decided it was 13 days old.
It's 13 days old. We missed this news cycle. What's the date?
Today?
It's the 11th.
It's the 11th. All right.
Yeah, so there we go. We got that.
Cool. So
Happy 11th of October, everybody.
Remember October 11th as the best. Okay. So let's start with.
Want to hear us talk about Big Boy?
Let's talk about St. Louis first. All right. Let's talk about this. 1, Nelly is from St. Louis. 2, October 4th, 2022, Goose hit the pageant in St. Louis for an old 2-set hootenanny. They started out strong with the Whales, One of my favorite songs, actually, from Dripfield. I personally think that the Whales had the best guitar solo on Dripfield.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could see that.
I don't know if you guys. I didn't know if you guys had a chance to check out Dripfield.
What's
No,
that?
yeah, I did, but I feel like that was months ago. You know,
You're
I think
right.
if you know Frenchman's old news, that's got to be way older news by default, by the nature of the timeline. You know.
Yeah, but when you don't listen to the show, you got to talk about the album. Is what's happening here.
I see. I know
Yeah.
that technique, right?
Well-
that's what I should be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Man, that Moon Cabin jive was amazing.
the Whales. Okay. Great guitar solo. Regardless of whether or not it's on the album, you know what? If this was a live album, I'd say it was one of the best guitar solos on the live album, I believe. Ask anybody who went to St. Louis. Into Jive 2.
Yeah.
I like an early Jive 2.
Definitely.
I think an early Jive 2 is a good way for Trevor Bass to let loose, expand those hands, and why not dive right into Jive Lee?
Yeah, there was like a good break between the two. Too. Like it didn't seem like they were going to go to Jive Lee, and all of a sudden Rick was just, let's do it.
Well, I mean, I like the Jive 2 into Jive Lee to switch it up from the Wiltonian Jive into the Jive Lee. You know, probably the most common combo of any songs I think that they've ever done that go basically that segue into each other besides Seekers Part 1 and Part 2 now, because they played that a lot. But otherwise, the Jive 1 Jive Lee combo is a classic. I've been playing that since they wrote Lee, you know, really the reprise for Jive. But I always love the Jive 2 Jive Lee combo. It still feels like unexpected to me at this point because of that. But
so was anybody in the chat at St. Louis? Tamara, were you there?
Tomorrow was at every show.
A bunch of people. Yeah, tomorrow was a lot. Huh?
Did anybody go to the show? Did they sell a ticket? I've never been to St. Louis before. My only cultural experience there was listening to Nelly's album Country Grammar year after year early on. Personally, I think that EI by Nelly had the best guitar solo on the album. But you know, I would love to go, and I feel like there's a kind of like a little bit of a storied history with the band building there. If I recall correctly, was there not a Trevor Bass Achy Breaky Heart shirtless back in like 2019 in St. Louis?
I think he came out of the gate shirtless. That was at the bootleg, right? And that, yeah, and that place obviously way smaller than the pageant. It was a very cool place, though. That was one of the shows that I was working with them on the 2019 tour, and really was a great. I just love that little establishment. We were right outside of the concert room, kind of in the bar room, but still like a good vantage point to check out what they were doing, a good sound. But I did not get to see Trevor come out shirtless, but I think he came out up on this roost. You know, it's like up towards the top of this little stage. You can't you don't even see it until you see this Adonis come out, shining white and shirtless up there playing bass. But I don't know if they started with Achy Breaky Heart, but I know he came out shirtless.
That's really the December show you're talking about?
Yeah, 12, 11, 19.
It's my favorite show.
There was all that No Rain.
Yeah, Madhavan.
Stuff that happened in Atlanta, but they played a great No Rain in that 12, 11, 19 show. Yeah.
They
shout out to Richter Brower, who loves that No Rain so much.
They open with that funky Madhavan, which is my favorite, like alternate.
Yeah, that's what they open with Funkavon. So, but he was still shirtless for that. I mean, or at least the beginning of it, which is pretty tight.
So, you know, people think this whole take your shirt off thing is a joke. It's not a joke. This was an occurrence. I wonder if it'll ever happen again. And frankly, my money is on St. Louis if it's gonna happen again.
I doubt it.
So, you know, and I do realize that I kind of skipped over a lot of stuff we could have talked about, like Atlanta. Oh, look at this in the chat. Look at who's here in the chat.
Who's that? Atlanta?
Ben Atkin, second best drummer in the Atkin family. Shout out to Micah, good friend of the podcast.
You think you're tough out there, you know, playing songs with rappers, dude. So come on, you know, give me a break.
They've been playing songs with rappers for years, Bruce.
Oh, that's right. Oh, Greg's a rapper. Greg's a rapper. I got to remember this.
Me too. Greg's a rapper.
They drop Big Boy or demo.
That's what I say before.
It's easy to forget, given most rappers have more than 1 to 2 verses that they mix up differently. But yeah, no, definitely a rapper, no doubt. Been working with rappers for years. Goose was straight. Oh.
Okay. So, Old Man's Boat, a song that's really grown on me. Written about, of course, Bruce Robinson's kayak.
Yeah, I was going to say it's grown on me as I've gotten 100%. To become an old man here.
Yep. Written about Bruce's kayak, Old Man's Boat, deep jam. And didn't something happen on Twitter last week? Didn't somebody say that they were going to buy all the merch if they played Jeff Engborg?
Yeah, things be happening on Twitter all the time.
Things be going down on Twitter. Right. Yeah, you're damn right.
Wow.
So I don't know if this person made this commitment like before they had announced all of the new merch that was coming out, but I guess the economy must be thriving in St. Louis because the guy must have bought a whole lot of merch.
Well, I want to see if anybody in the chat can confirm this or if they can go out and find out. But I believe I saw that this person, Matt Gainey, who made that tweet, ended up leaving the concert venue or whatever, or could not get back to the merch for some reason, and ended up buying some merch on. But yeah, conveniently, right? I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna flame this guy on Twitter.
Okay.
But then I saw that he, I guess he went to buy something online and then donated a significant amount of money to Goose, some $1,000 at dawn to like $1,000. So yeah, if we could, we can confirm that. I think that's still, coming up and to the plate and taking a hit there like a man, and that was for good reason.
Definitely
for good reason, because Jeff Engborg is a sick song.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also a good person. He's real.
He's a real guy. Jeff's real. Well, that is okay. That's more than I knew. I don't know what's going on anymore.
It's a podcast. We inform.
I love to hear that they supported our good friends out at Groove Safe.
It's nice to know that every song has a price too. They will play whatever song you want for a price. So I want to know the price of Lily's Tiger.
Let's see about this. All right, in the chat.
How much would you pay?
If we're going to use the Jeff Engborg quotient as $1,000 for Jeff Engborg, how much is a Lily's Tiger?
Keeping in mind, Lily's Tiger was probably influenced by Jeff Engborg Part 2. And there is a Part 2 that exists that's a full-fledged song that exists in and of itself. So, and it was written before Lily's Tiger. So keep these things in mind as you put up your free agent bid.
Lauren, you got to start the bids low, Lauren.
5K
for Lily's Tiger?
I don't have 5K. God damn.
Listen,
I would have taken like a gram of live resin or something for that. That would have been good enough. I think that's whatever, $45. I don't know.
Guy in the sunglasses would take a gram of live resin.
Yeah, I'll buy a sticker. I'll buy a sticker for Lily's Tiger.
Bruce, nobody's donating this to you. It's to Groove.
Well, we can talk about multiple topics at once,
Bruce needs a gram of live resin. So okay, wow. So let's get to somebody more reasonable. Tanya,
$1,500 for a Lily's Tiger.
Logs.
Okay,
I promise you, Tanya. I think $1,500 is a good price on the Lily's Tiger.
No, it's not. These are all way too high.
This is what I mean about Mike. Joey's Mike spicy over. Is
it spicy?
Hot. It's no. They're just a take.
See,
I got you guys.
See, Bruce, we got some new
There's
equipment.
layers to this.
We have a new mixer. Joey and I are using it because we thought, we're going to take this to the next level and really all get together and podcast.
But
Bruce was busy hanging out posters in his apartment.
There's priorities over here.
All right. We're not going to do this whole thing where we just diss each other between every song because the band's going to play pretty soon too. So,
they got a show tonight. Oh,
yeah, they've got a show. Yes, they have a show tonight. Now that we know what date it is. What's up, Robert Madrano? We missed you in Austin, brother. All right. So ready to close out the set. My mom's favorite song. She went to see them in Austin. They didn't play it. No big deal. No one was upset. I didn't hear about that. Set 2 opener. Hunger Site.
Could have tossed them $750 for So Ready in Austin. I don't even think they need $1,000.
I mean,
anyway.
I would toss them 1,000 to not play Slow Ready and play So Ready.
Ooh, that is not.
My mic spicy?
That's not right. Yeah, check his mic, Joey.
Also,
it's just wrong.
We also have sound effects. See that? See that? See that? Spicy
That's
mic.
the longest sound effect of my life.
Yeah, me too. I didn't realize that was the one. They're not labeled. They are not.
That's
labeled.
like a Casio preset.
Yeah, that was it. That's good. So we're that was Vasudo. So set 2 opening with Hunger Sight into Magic Carpet Ride.
Yeah,
the Steppenwolf cover.
Yeah.
One of my favorite covers that has emerged since last Halloween.
Probably a cheesy cover by the takes on El Goose, but giving some people have a hard time with some of these. But I love Magic Carpet. I love that cover. I love that they chose that for Halloween and have continued to kind of play that out. It reminds me kind of, I mean, no, they combine it with Lee, but it reminds me kind of like a Lee, little upbeat jam.
I see some people were not around for hot. And
God bless them. Man.
You missed out.
That's Cervantes. That was at Cervantes. They played.
It's all about hot is too much appropriation for my tastes.
Right. Got to cool down with a butter brown. Yeah. All right. So after that, we got Arrow. Great song, also controversial. This Old Sea, really going with the nautical theme. This is actually wild. Look, what were we all doing last week that we have no intel here? Closing the set with Same Old Shenanigans, my favorite. That includes Dawn.
Yeah.
And closing it out, Bobby Blue Bland, Turn On Your Love Lights.
Suck it, Russo.
Suck it, Russo.
Oh my God, we have a clap track.
It doesn't stop. So,
there was some funky psychedelic shit in the middle of that clap track. It's like,
that's why we're wearing sunglasses, brother. All right, so let's actually talk about some things we do know about, and that is maybe we do, maybe we don't. New Orleans. If you're in the chat, raise your hand. If you went to New Orleans for the show, raise your hands.
I was gonna go, and I highly regret not.
I did not go.
My contact just fell out. If anyone's wondering what I'm
Joy's
doing.
contact's out. Don't worry, I'll take this from here. So, New Orleans. Shout out to all you people showing up in New Orleans. I think this was only the band's second show in New Orleans. First time was last year. Lauren went. My good friend Ron went. Shout out to Ron Gubbets. I don't know if he's around, but New Orleans. So I was able to listen to these two shows and do a little bit of investigative research for this podcast and for my own edification. Yes, that's right. I was going to do a sound effect, but don't want to overdo it. New Orleans, night 1, very, very solid Goose show. But night 2, I thought was incredible. Anyone have anything to contribute?
I've been chasing What's Up for a very, very, very long time, which is why this is one of my biggest regrets of not going to this show.
And that cheesy comment came from somebody particularly digging at the What's Up encore, which to me, I mean, based on they have encored with Doobie Song, they have encored with Honeybee, they have on the Pat in a very long back in the day. Encore to Ha Ha Ha. So What's Up is by default, by relative comparison, a much, much more intriguing encore. And plus,
the crowd participation was incredible on that song.
That was fantastic. Like, who was the person saying this? The Fun Blues?
I can't, because those names don't stick out in my head when they say stuff like that. Calling What's Up a cheesy song. Which is supposed to be like inauthentic and whatever. And it's like, What's Up is an incredible song, a masterpiece of alt rock from the early 90s. Four Non Blondes crushed that. And the song itself, I remember checking Spotify at over 640 million plays. Like, I know that album sold incredibly well that song's on. So I don't know. It's kind of an odd way to criticize a song or a song choice, but people have their opinions and are certain to make those vocalized online in the most annoying way possible. So take it for what you will. But I know that I would have been psyched to hear What's Up Encore. I think that they did it at Bingo Tour, right, Greg? During those shows,
they did it at Bingo Tour.
And I mean,
we played it.
Well, we were going crazy in the bar, and everybody that was in there was singing along. So, I mean, it was a good time, you know. Oh, did Joey knows a fact? Did we clap check that? Oh man, he deserves a clap.
Yep, way to go. All right, that's enough. So we love What's Up, but like it's interesting to see. I think Drew Davidson said in the chat that it was Lawrence that night one was better musically.
I think so. I think that's right.
You know, I could see that being true. I think also there were some heavy hitters, but then again, there were some very big high points on October 7th, night 2. Like that Madhavan went deep. That Madhavan went for almost half an hour.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, like either way, the guys have yet to play in New Orleans on a weekend. And as I say every episode, I know less and less about this band every day. But it's crazy to think that they've played 3 shows in New Orleans, 3 sold out shows, never played a weekend, right? Not a weekend show yet.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, and how far in advance these get planned, Greg? And
good
you
question,
know about that with the date.
That is rhetorical.
Like, yeah, who snorted? Well, we got hot mics everywhere. We got new equipment. It's picking up things that you never heard. You know, so that's part of it. I swear to God, that's like on the Casio. That great.
We have about 7 more sound effects left. We have not used these sound effects before, so we have no idea what's coming.
You had to know that one was.
I had no idea.
Really?
I had no idea. Yeah.
But you know, I was definitely dying to get back to New Orleans to see some shows. I haven't been there since Jazz Fest in 2014, and it's a great city. It's a lot of fun. Like you said, the midweek shows can be tough. Obviously, we're trying to take a little bit of a break, looking ahead to some big stuff that's coming up towards the end of the month and next month. But you know, those are definitely 2 shows that when they announced them were on my radar, but just couldn't make it. I have heard nothing though but good things really about both nights. Online, you know, a lot of praise for those 2 shows, and which is big, especially after I thought the Atlanta shows and Atlanta night 2 especially was such an incredible show. But you know, the guys are just picking up where they left off, and I mean, they generally play good shows. They generally don't let fans down or their audiences down wherever they play. So not surprising, but definitely some really out of character high praise for the 2 New Orleans shows, which is cool. And hopefully that does get them some weekend shows soon, because love to go back down there and see them in another classic venue, playing the hits, you know?
Playing the hits. Speaking of the hits, October 7th, as we say, a lot of jams went down. Flow Down, I heard was fantastic. Into the Mist.
Yeah.
So, like, I really love Into the Mist.
But before we go into that, it was that was Tamara's birthday show, and they came out with a cupcake and sang "Happy Birthday."
Oh, really?
According to the notes, yeah.
Yes,
oh my goodness!
Come on, man.
I think so. I don't know. It could be a totally different night.
No, dude, the notes. Man, the notes are what's right. We got Ryan Storm doing them now. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Thank you to all of you supporting us in the chat, and also to our friends making fun of us. I say, all right. So, Tamara, happy birthday to Tamara. Always on the rail. Always being a great friend and a great musician, and we love you here at the Great Beyond.
Yes,
I'm glad the band came out and recognized that too. That's very cool.
Yes, 100%. It was my birthday on the 5th, and nobody said anything.
It's my birthday on the 15th, and they're playing in Pittsburgh. So yeah,
you going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck, Joey. You better pony up 1,500 quick.
Yeah, we want that Lily's
Tiger on the
expensive birthday, man. We are now accepting donations. So let's fast forward to Austin, Texas.
These sound effects aren't free. Everybody,
yeah, right. Just gotta pay for these sound effects. That is right, Bruce. So, Austin, Texas.
I feel like I'm walking down the aisle at Price is Right. Like I just bid to close this price to a dishwasher.
Austin, Texas.
Over to the Robinson team.
So
that dishwasher is $659, dog.
All right.
$1.
Whoever listens to this on Spotify after, it's going to be in for a painful experience. All righty. So, Austin, Texas, Echo of a Rose. Opening.
One of my
fast
favorites.
version. What do we think about the new fast version of Echo of the Rose?
I like it.
By we, I mean people in the chat.
Heavy hitting.
It's great that they bring it back to like the old school reggae version at the end after the jam. But the thing is, once they bring it back, there's always that other jam that they used to do where like it would pick up and be super fast paced and heavy. And then, way back it used to be, they'd go into that layered harmony of like the echo of a rose. And I really missed that part.
By way back, Joey means 2019.
Yeah.
Well, Joey's a youngster. He's not an old man in an old man's boat like me.
That's right.
An old man's kayak. But the Fast Echo grew on me. I think we saw that at Austin. Was that
Austin? Yeah, that was when they debuted the new version.
And I was immediately like kind of thrown off by it, and not that it was bad, but it just took me a little bit for it to grow on me. But now I really like it quite a bit, and it just adds such a different feel to that song. And then, like you said, they could piece it together and go back into the old version and do some cool things with that. So it's definitely grown on me a lot.
Yeah. A lot of love it. Love it's in the chat. Don Conway. Yeah. Love your name, Don Conway. Binky. Love yours too.
It seems to be a common thing of like a lot of the reggae. Same thing with Indian River. Like used to be a reggae song. Echo of a Rose used to be a reggae song, and then they find their way with it. Which another one like Indian River, I'm not sure how people feel about that, like Michael McDonald style piano, like that 80s vibe to it. But like the jam they put on the end of it is incredible. So
Michael McDonald.
That's what I always think. I hear that tone in piano. That's just what I think about. I don't know how accurate it is.
Is that what they played it on, Dylan? They played the Indian River, that version that John had put. It was like an 80s-esque version of
it's like an 80s synth, I think is how he puts it in the notes.
80s synth version.
Maybe. I don't know if that's true. 80s something.
Yeah, we'll tell you about the 80s someday. So Stubbs in Austin, legendary venue. Legendary Stubbs, like legendary shows have happened there over the years. Want to know about some of them?
Yeah.
Were they legendary?
Google it. So,
we spent all our money on sound effects and could not afford research.
We could not afford to go to these shows. Out of budget. So, Everything Must Go. New tune. Not a Fish song, ladies and gentlemen. Not a Fish song. So I personally am all in on Everything Must Go.
Yeah.
As you can see, we spent everything on these sound effects. What are our thoughts on Everything Must Go in the chat? Not. I don't know. So, what are the thoughts on Everything Must Go?
We'll wait here.
And has anybody deciphered the lyrics?
I think I saw somebody post on old Goose like the day after that they had been, they were sitting around or something, and they tried to transcribe them, as quickly as they could. But sappy indie yawn, not unexpected commentary coming from one of our group experts, Goose expert, Mr. Russo here.
Okay, I just like this. Russo's got a spicy mic tonight too. Like that.
It was also a Brothers Pass song. I do not remember that, Jeff.
The brothers. Yeah. All right. I like that, Jeff. Thank you, brother, for sharing that.
Oh, yeah. We actually have commentary from a real podcaster, Neil Landry. Amazing guitar solo, beautiful organ underneath in the jam section. Right on.
Like that. Amber
okay,
Lansing, much like Kanye West, surprisingly, still on Facebook.
My heart is strong, and I've been taking supplements for blood circulation, so I wouldn't expect that to happen.
And a typo from Russo. Nice.
Drew, thank you for a reasonable response. Not 100% sold on Everything Must Go yet, but who's 100% sold on Goose? Anyway.
Yeah. I feel like it has that room to like once they find a jam for it and like a structure, that's where it's going to come out. I mean, already it's like 10 plus minutes. So
Hello, Raleigh. I mean, I will say not just the Fast Echo, but a lot of songs as they've come out and been introduced by Goose over the years, and I've heard maybe some early versions of some, and I've heard them practice some before they played them, and a lot of songs have grown on me, but if I've given those songs based on how much I've liked things that they've done and written in the past, it's easy to give those songs some time, and whether or not they've changed it drastically or not, a lot of those songs have come to grow on me as I kind of get more of an ear for what they're trying to do, and they just lock in on their playing of them. Like Arrow was another one that I was not immediately too hot on, and sure enough, play it live a couple times, you get to see what they do with it, and it really can change your perspective a little bit. I know that's happened to a lot of people with Born, so there's a lot of songs like that, and I think it's just like with Everything Must Go, I think, just give them some time and some space and hear them a few times, and surprising how many of these songs will grow on you.
Julian asked where Big Boy is.
I don't know. My favorite part is that, I do want to talk about That Animal was incredible too. That was a great jam. That song's really coming up on my list of like favorites to see, but yeah, I don't know if you guys have anything to contribute, but going into Big Boy, my favorite thing is just...
No, we're not going to Big Boy.
Okay.
No. Don't give him the satisfaction. Because Brawley has to share something. Okay, so I don't know, but like there are some things here that we don't control, and that is one of them. So,
I almost control zero things, period. In all respects.
Certainly not myself. State of the Art, AIOU.
Yeah.
Cover song.
I love that cover.
Jim
so
James.
Much.
And really great. I think the debut of it was at South Farms, right? Wasn't that it? And
yes.
I definitely told a bunch of people it was a new song.
Man, this is coming out of their new album, man.
Got to keep them on their toes,
I couldn't, look like I didn't know anything. But now I just do this publicly on on the internet live. But great cover, we love it. Into Animal, which I thought this Animal was hot. Spicy Mike Animal.
Oh, it starts it over. How do you stop it early?
You're an animal.
You can imagine monkeys flying through trees, in the Amazonian forests and listening to that in the background.
We just lost 6 viewers. So after Animal, which what I was trying to say was that Animal was hot, and I feel like everyone forgot about it because Big Boy and Sleepy Brown, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, not the second member of Outkast, but Sleepy Brown, Dungeon Family, Atlanta, DJ Cutmaster Swift graced the stage.
My favorite part was that Peter introduced it with "All righty."
Yeah, yes,
I love Peter.
That made me giggle knowing what was coming.
Good. Yeah,
Jackson would like a podcast breaking down the actual music with theory. Well, let's talk about Bruce. Let's talk about the influence of Outkast. Maybe let's talk about the genesis of the Dungeon Family in Atlanta and how the impact that Southern hip hop had and how Outkast opened the doors for a lot of Southern rappers to flourish in a time when rap was dominating pop culture. Can we talk about that for Jackson a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we could, but I don't know if Jackson's that interested in our take on the growth of Southern rap throughout the early to mid 90s in the golden age of hip hop.
Well, sorry, Miss Jackson. We got to move on.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. I guess if we want to talk about the actual music with theory, that would require us, of course, to listen to the shows.
Yeah.
We'd also have to be music theorists, which we're not.
We do, however, provide plenty of theories on music.
Yes.
So Fresh and So Clean. Really nice version of Fresh and So Clean. I don't know how many of you folks have seen a live one before. I have, not with Goose, but I thought they did the song justice. Not like, we've seen hip, and I'm not talking about Goose or myself. We've seen hip hop infused in the jam world before. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think the guys did justice to the song. I think. Obviously Atkin being a metronome, really holding down that break was super dope. And I think it was pretty live.
we got back. We were at dinner. We had a bunch of friends for visiting that night, so we went out to eat and then got back to my apartment quickly enough to set up the stream, and we got to get it set up right before that he came out for that, and it was a huge surprise. Even though Chris Quinn, Mighty Quinn Media, takes pictures of the band, takes a lot of photos for some other bands too, like Eggy and friends of ours. So. He actually got a text about something about Big Boy or Outkast at dinner, and I totally wrote it off, and then a few hours later we get home and get to see that. And I'm not always in love with sit-ins myself personally, but that was so cool to see and so much fun. And the crowd was super into it. You could see Trevor was super into it, practically like smiling.
Peter was grooving.
It was so great to see, and it is awesome to see them do sit-ins. Such big people and make something so special for people who happen to be there. It was a total surprise to me, and I'm sure it was a big surprise to quite a few people. But Greg, how would you say these sit-ins come to be? I think there's a lot of theories out there. Yeah. Speaking of theories, there's a lot of theories on Twitter, and they always seem to revolve around the band somehow miraculously paying for a lot of things to happen. So I'd say I'm curious. Maybe our viewers or listeners are curious as to how these sit-ins came to be.
Jackson, I'm sorry, I'm sensitive. So yeah, let's talk about this actually, because God, of course I wanted to talk about this because I'm sensitive. So sometimes, no matter the genre, musicians of any type or podcasters can have a fond admiration for one another and perhaps want to collaborate on a stage. It's cool because music is a universal language. And, in this specific instance, knowing going on in Austin being a massive, massive music weekend, there were a ton of artists there. And one thing I can say about Goose's management team across the board is that they are incredibly experienced and they are incredibly, incredibly well connected and have formed authentic relationships with artists across the board for years and years. So one of Goose's managers, Ben Baruch at 1111 Group, used to book Okeechobee Festival, the Boulder Theater, etc. Extensive history in music and is connected everywhere. So he happens to be good friends with Big Boy's manager. They happen to be in town, and there happened to be a little authentic, why don't you come do So Fresh and So Clean with Goose? Unfortunately, there were not men in suits with briefcases of money dropping them off to Andre 3000's house while he could count it and Big Boy performed. There wasn't anyone in the band's dad skydiving out of a helicopter and dropping off piles of cash anywhere.
No dads.
This was just an organic collaboration.
Oh, nice.
These things just seem to happen. And sometimes artists that achieve some level of notoriety want to perform with one another, and it's just kind of cool. And I don't know that they expect that it will be the source of conspiracy theories, but I'm glad we are here to explain it. So I hope in the future that there can be more of this collaboration. And if I'm completely wrong about any of this and people have been getting paid for sit-ins, then I need to come collect.
Yeah,
right?
Joe. Yeah, some of those Arcadia sit-ins.
Mercury 2019 royalties coming in.
That is it.
I'm curious, how do you think they settled on that song, though? Is that something like
grooves?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
and probably something the band could pick up
play
quickly or new, and something that Big Boy performs all the time. So it's certainly fresh on his mind.
Probably. I'm sure he hasn't forgotten it. But no, I mean, I think it's also Outkast. It's Outkast's biggest song. No.
I mean, arguably, they got some big ones, but maybe most popular song,
or Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson, yeah.
Or I mean,
hey,
that was from the Speaker Box in the Love Below, which was actually a 2-part album with Big Boy handling side 1 and Andre 3000 handling side 2. So I would really categorize it as an Andre 3000 song, but who cares? It's not a music theory podcast.
Nor is it a rap podcast.
I thought that So Fresh and So Clean was cool. I thought it was super dope. The only thing that could have been doper was if it had actually happened in Atlanta, of course. because that's where
Yeah.
Outcast is from.
Yeah.
But Stubbs seemed to be popping. If you were there in the chat, I'm wondering if people knew the words, if they knew what was going on, or if it was one of those like things.
I mean, it seemed pretty hyped on the stream. You know,
It did seem.
I was a little drunk and full of hibachi, but I could hear how hyped and see how hyped the crowd was. You know, but we were just kind of. I just remember being so taken aback by it even happening. You know, it was just such a cool moment that I don't know. The specifics around it are lost on me.
Yeah. We've got an like I say, we can't miss shows ever again. So second set at Stubbs, Creatures second set opener. I love Creatures second set opener almost as much as I like first set Creatures, but favorite way to kick off set two.
Yeah.
Like right into a deep dark Fish in the Sea too. Like it's funny, AEIOU and Fish in the Sea I consider kind of like, you know, the songs you kind of like correlate in your heads that like they're kind of similar for whatever reason, like the vibe or the sound, whatever.
Just the vibe,
but like
yeah.
yeah, those two. But like Fish in the Sea it's like the set two version of AEIU where it gets a little darker, a little funkier, a little more dancey. So like especially Creatures right into it. That's a perfect spot for it.
Ooh, I have a quick question before we move forward. A lot of big sit-ins this summer.
Yeah.
Had several members of DAWs at different times. We have Big Boy, Father John Misty, Better Ingredients, Better Music, and Trey Anastasio.
Yeah. And then the LA sit-ins.
So my question,
Right, there's just
who is the most famous musician that sat in with Goose this year?
I mean, Big Boy. In all honesty, you know, people in the jam scene might say Trey, but it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
It's seriously not. More people definitely know who Big
Not
Boy
like
is
who,
than
not who's most famous in your house, or like who you like more. Okay, there we go. Jimmy Dunn in here being reasonable. Drew Davidson. Good question. Fame. Define fame.
I would
say
amount of the general public who knows who they are.
Yeah, I was going to say Webster's probably defines it as being famous.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clap, clap.
I mean, not like obviously we all have a picture of Trey above our mantle next to Barack Obama, but you know, I think I
actually do right in this closet in here.
Yeah.
It's locked tight though. I can't have anybody. Anybody messing with my shrine over there.
Can't let Barack out. Yeah. So look at this, Jonathan. Like coming in and bringing us back to earth. Any cover tunes that we'd like to hear make an appearance? Let's start with Bruce.
I mean, my answer was "What's up," but they took it. Those fucks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I just never I never think in that way with them, and I never have with Fish or any other band, because it's like most of the time, if I like the band that much, I really like the choices that they make when it comes to playing covers or dropping new covers. Goose has been exceptional with that for me. And songs that, you know, I would love to hear them play, or old covers that I would love to hear them play. I mean, comparatively to now, I love AEIOU. I'm sad I missed that. I love Fish in the Sea, which is kind of like a regular rotation cover for them. Danger Zone and the whole Loggins Suite. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Make the Move and I'm All Right are I like even the most out of that, more than Danger Zone, you know. But I mean, they also did an awesome Pumped Up Kicks, I believe, in Atlanta. You know, I love Kylie. I can't get you out of my head.
Timing. You know, I know one of our friends, Blimpy Man, would love to hear Billie Jean.
Oh yeah,
Maine. Yeah, but we gotta not allow him to. Yeah. I've denied Blimpie Mang's request for Billie Jean many a time.
Many times. Yo, tell him to
Many.
play Billie Jean. I'm like, no,
Many times.
not right now, dude. It's a funeral. Okay. So
Also, I wish too was that they played that at your wedding.
they sure did.
They should bring that back.
I wish they would.
Yeah.
Good, very good.
Eminence front. Haven't seen Eminence in a long time. Love Eminence.
Oh, we saw it in Dallas.
I'm a sucker for Dancing in the Moonlight too. I used to say
Same.
that it was like this was how I would gauge how much better Peter would keep getting on keys and continues, I guess when he would just rip those solos and
Has anyone mentioned
with one hand.
Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic? Remember
I was just thinking about that one.
Out of Resonance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, they haven't done that in forever. I wonder if they'll ever do that again. But yeah, they just have a ton of good cover songs that they crush, and it's really about placement, and what they pull out when and how that works. I mean, they played Get the Funk Out My Face, which is great. They played a bunch of cool covers already over the course of this tour that I would have loved to see. And you know what? And leading into the next show that they played at ACL, Blood Buzz Ohio, that they broke out at Red Rocks, a song that I never had known or would have known is a song that has grown on me a lot. I would love to hear them cover that again. But of course, then that I also missed. Yeah.
Huh. Well, what a perfect segue to
exactly, dude. We're
Sunday.
We're podcasting up in this.
Hell yes, Bruce. Sunday, Austin City Limits. Again, raise your hand in the chat if you were there on Sunday. I want to give a huge shout out to all the fam that took care of my mom while she was there. So my mom has a place down in Austin, Texas, just steps away from Zilker Park. In fact, a couple years ago when Billy Strings played ACL, she was just on her porch, on her balcony, facing the park. And she was like, there's some really good music on. Like, you should get involved with this band. She's like FaceTiming me. And she's like, do you hear this? And it turns out it was Billy Strings. I was like, this guy's he's gonna practice a couple more years and he's gonna, make a big time. But yeah, it was super cool though. She's like that close to the park. And so she was super excited to go catch the band on site. And went with a friend. Her friend had to take off early. And the last thing I wanted was my mom alone at a Goose show. So, she was lucky enough to meet up with Ryan Storm and fam. And they had a nice little photo op. My mom got some intel on Almost There pod and what they're up to. So we'll be.
Is that a music theory podcast?
Yes, I believe it is. And then, of course, shout out to the young god himself, Sean Golan. Met up with my mom, brought my mom to the rail. And,
what up, Sean?
Thank you, Sean. They had a great time. Thanks, Dad. So, but excellent show. On Sunday, definitely a festival set.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Whoa. There you go.
But like for a festival set, this one, like every song flowed natural. Like it seems like a very well rehearsed, well thought out type of set, but and yet so natural and free flowing.
All of it's got those moody kind of indie vibes going on throughout, though, besides Arcadia mixed in the middle there and a Hot Tea at the end. And a lot of new songs. Hunger Sight, Silver Rising, Blood Buzz, the new cover, Dripfield. So, and then, of course, Slow Ready, but that's not that new anymore. But it is on Dripfield, the album we started talking about early in the episode. We've come a long way.
So,
from June.
Our solo on Dripfield. But I do think this is interesting that if you look back historically at festival sets, like premiere sets that the band has had, you can almost guarantee there's going to be an Arcadia, there's going to be a Hot Tea. Back in the good old days, there was going to be a Slow Ready, maybe a Dead cover, and then call it a day. And a Creatures if it was, past dark. So it's great to see that it's great to see that they're incorporating a lot of this new music that is a little bit different from the high energy, like shred festival set kind of thing, right? Silver Rising. If you told me a year ago that like they're going to be on this premiere stage, dropping Silver Rising, not that I don't like Silver Rising at all, I would just say like, but don't the people need a 20-minute Arcadia that peaks and peaks and peaks?
Sure, they're gonna like that werewolf song about the werewolves,
right. Like, yeah, exactly.
Dude, it's honestly my favorite Goose song right now. It's more the Array Below version, just because it like reaches that peak, and like to hear the crowd go nuts for just like, I mean, it is a huge peak, but it's acoustic instrument, so it's like not that crazy, but like everyone just recognizes that, like, wow, that build was incredible.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the greatest things about that song and Redbird, I think, which you aren't like kind of leading from Greg's point too about the style and what they're presenting now at a festival, this huge festival set, is those rounds that they do, the lyrical rounds that then resolve to a point, and it makes some sort of cathartic kind of peak out of the vocals rather than using instruments to do it in a jam. I think is undercredited and underappreciated and complicated to do in live settings, and they crush it every time. And it's always been one of my favorite parts of those two songs. And I do Silver Rising again. We talked about songs coming around. I've grown to love that song a lot, and easily one of my favorite newer songs from this year is Silver Rising, without a doubt. Top 3.
Yeah, so Russo's saying they had to mic it up. There was something in the notes too that like the whatever they're recording through wasn't working, so they had to use like the audience mics and the soundboard. So yeah, the audio quality of this set isn't the best, but
this has made me very happy tonight. That the sound effects are going to help propel us to the next level of podcasting. Once we start listening to the shows, we'll be off and running. You know, I'm looking forward to what's to come.
It's almost like this is a Goose podcast. So.
Also, before I forget though, Arcadia was next. We have to talk about the Arcadia. I don't know if you guys listened to the Atlanta Arcadia. That was, I mean, I know every Arcadia is better than the last one.
Arcadia was great. Yeah.
Oh man, that like double time jam. They go, oh man, that's the new bar.
They played in Atlanta. No, I'm just kidding. So a lot of incredible music to kick off Fall Tour. A couple questions I wanted to ask the chat, and I guess to my co-hosts. But we've seen several.
They played in
Louisiana. Where the players play.
Right, exactly. The dirty.
Things like every day, yeah. And parties don't stop till 6 in the morning. So, couple things. One thing, really. Fall Tour perennially has been fire for Goose. So this year, thus far, tremendous. Last year, similar run through Texas. Then to Aspen and Mission. The year before, drive-ins, South Farms. The year before that, Boston, Sonia, all the way out. Bruce was on that tour.
That was winter though. I think Sonia was in April, but no, it's
yeah.
No, Sonia in September, October,
2018,
19. Look it up.
We'll have to
St. Louis was in 2019.
My question is, what is your favorite? And we'll make this for everybody, since I believe the Nugs catalog starts at 2018. What was your favorite fall tour in the past years where they've had fall tours and they weren't just loosely organized strings of shows?
Yeah, that 2019 stretch was big for me.
Favorite fall tour? Let me know. I would say, that 2019 was popping.
That like saved me during COVID. Was that run of shows?
Yeah, I mean, 2019 was great.
Neil Landry. That's right, Neil.
We were lucky to be local to a lot of the drive-in shows and a lot of the stuff that was happening during the pandemic there at South Farms, and I thought those were just a very cool experience all around. Anyway, given that it was new, a lot of bands were trying to participate in that. And you'll never probably see anything like that again. So I thought that was a pretty cool experience just in how unique it was. But, musically, I don't know. That's tough because last year was incredible. They started to do new things with some old songs like the Butter Rum Jam from Aspen, for example, which is insane. And Arcadia, speaking of Arcadia's, the Arcadia from Mission was still, to me, probably the best one, if not one of the ones from 2020, that 917 one. So there's a lot, they just, like you said, they come with it every fall. And definitely a hard question. I mean, obviously the shows that they've been playing this fall have been really on point too, and quite a bit different from the last 2 fall tours. So, it's a tough one. I did love the stringing the shows together back in the 2015, 2016 days.
Oh my God,
just bouncing around to different places in Norwalk.
Several shows all within 15 minutes of each other. Those were the days. What do we think they'll have planned for Goose Miss Jackson? Gonna have to go. See what you're trying to
they better be playing Holiday. They better be playing Holiday by Madonna. I've been trying to get Holiday. It's perfect.
Lauren, you didn't find Goose till Goose Miss 2020. That's fine. Welcome.
Yeah, that's good. Good time to find them.
Now you get to do this. So, all right. We're actually only about 26 minutes away from the ticketed start time for tonight.
Is there a laugh track on there?
Man, that was 2 tracks at once?
That was 2, yeah. You didn't know, yeah. Come on, man.
We gotta.
Wow.
Fresh and so clean. So anyway, we don't know. The show could start anytime between now and tomorrow. But we're 30 minutes away from start time, so we'll let you rest, relax, and get those streams on Nugs. Check it out. Only a few shows left. Tune in tonight. I want to see Jonathan. You've been very reasonable today. Thank you for actually providing insight here when the 3 of us may not have any. How many of the bands may or may not share the stage at the same time? Only thing I can say is buy a ticket. Miami Will Smith. I will not be doing that. He may not be sitting in. All right. So let's do a quick trivia question, which I thought of today.
We're giving away something, right?
We're giving away tickets to New Year's Eve. Covington.
Yes, everybody deserves a chance at that for sitting through this experimental episode of the Great Beyond.
Will they do a European run, Don Conway? I hope so. And I hope they take me as well. So today's trivia question, answering in the chat, Russo, you are not eligible. The trivia question is, and this is in honor of our good friends at Fantasy Goose. Congratulations to 1,000 followers on Instagram. Fantasy Goose was conceived in a car. Okay.
What was the model and make of that car?
Whoa, this is not how it was conceived.
What was the first show, date, and venue where Fantasy Goose was played?
Do we have the Jeopardy theme on here?
That wasn't it.
That's not it.
Nope.
That's not the Jeopardy theme.
We haven't used all these yet, so.
That's a trivia-esque sound.
Yeah.
What was the first show? And so let's see. Date and venue in the chat. There's nobody anywhere close. Neil Landry, you're kind of close. But win 2 New Year's tickets to Cincinnati. Who dey? Is that what they say?
2 New Year's tickets.
2 New Year's tickets. You don't have to go alone.
Although, if you know the answer to this question, you probably are.
I don't even know if my co-host. No. We're gonna let this rock for a second. Let me just. So, the question itself is, when was Fantasy Goose first played? All right. I'm gonna give the people a hint. Do you think we should do this?
Yeah, give them a hint. Yeah.
Okay.
They deserve a hint.
So the first game was written on paper. It was written on paper, a small group of people. And it was conceived driving between two northeast cities. Two northeast cities. Driving through the northeast. Driving through the
Oh
northeast.
my gosh. I know,
One city to
I
the
know what
other.
it is.
Russo wants to give a hint.
Russo, okay. Red. If you're on Facebook, you can look at what Russo says. So, driving to northeast cities, in between one to the other. In the car, Greg Knight, Pete Russo, Matt Kolinsky. Called in Chris Quinn. He played. Bruce Robinson, I believe, played as well.
Do you know who won? I'm curious about that.
I don't actually remember who won the first game, although I may have a note on my phone. But I may not. So driving between two northeast cities. It was all right. I'm gonna give one more hint.
Russo says Kolinsky won.
Kolinsky
Yeah,
won.
I was thinking Kolinsky might have won. Yeah.
See, this is my problem is that I just assume that I won.
do remember. I know the show now, though.
So we were yelling with a Mississippi half step banger.
There's a little hint.
That's a good hint.
Oh,
there.
that's a good little hint.
That is a good hint. Nobody's got it yet. Nobody's got it.
Good thing we have 20 more minutes.
Give him a year.
I'm telling you, the first show, Drew Davidson, you're not going to see a show listed because it's not listed. The first ever Fantasy Goose game was played on paper.
You're not going to see
Similar
a
to
show
the first time
listed
fantasy
because it's not
football was
listed.
played.
Driving between two major cities in the Northeast. In fact, the two most major cities in the Northeast.
Can I guess the cities?
What are the two biggest cities north of New Jersey?
I'm going to say Worcester
I don't feel like this is a hard question.
and Limestone.
This is a
Bruce.
hard question.
No. What are the two biggest cities in the Northeast?
New York and Boston.
Yes.
It's one of those
That's
people.
your clue. That's your clue. Oh, here we go. Donda,
Yeah.
you are incorrect.
Oh, shut
No.
that.
No. Donda's right. Donda, you got it. 419-19. You just beat out Ryan Molnar. So the story itself, Donda, congratulations. You are going to dismiss. All right. So Donda, congrats.
That's how the tickets appear.
Game itself, yes. Tickets, please. So,
The more you know.
Donda, you're going to Goose, close to home, easy. On the way to downtown, down the road brewery in Everett, Massachusetts, a little brewery by the casino that was built out there. Driving after the show at Mercury Lounge for 2019. This is a 420 run. Flavortown did a really dope print for that as well. I think that was the Smoking Goose. Looked like he was from Greece. They started the weekend at Mercury Lounge, opening up at Mercury Lounge with Eminence Front, followed by Butter Rum, Time to Play Tumble, Turn Clouds, So Ready, Echo Rose, Green River Creatures, Arcadia, Electric Avenue.
What happened during that Arcadia?
That Arcadia, Greg Knight just emerged on stage. Nobody asked him to. But
Not the last time at Mercury Lounge either. That happened.
Nope, it keeps happening. And that's
the emergence.
and then 419 was at Down the Road Brewery. That was a interesting time in the band's history. My brother-in-law ended up selling merch somehow. Escaped
Not knowing the prices
song.
of anything.
Yeah, just literally, and like didn't have the iPad password, couldn't take cash only.
Oh my god, the iPad. Oh.
Sean Cronin, guitarist from Elephant Proof in Boston, sat in on Escape, the Pina Colada song, as well as an 8-minute All I Need, high speed, All I Need, ripped. Go listen to that show. It's absolutely incredible. This was a big weekend because night 3, 420, the Acoustic in Bridgeport pop-in show. The Acoustic, of course, is now Park City Music Hall, opening with one more Saturday night. There was a hot night with the Greg Knight lyrics swapped in. Enough about me.
Gonna be a great
Funky Audubon,
night.
a very early Slow Ready. And they closed the weekend, of course, with the Eminence Front. Great run of shows. That was the genesis of Fantasy Goose. Congratulations to Fantasy Goose and that whole team for what they do to the community. And thank you all for tuning in tonight. We'll be back.
Maybe.
We will be back, and it's hopefully we're going to be a little bit better next time. But
yeah,
we'll
we got to
be
figure
back.
out. We'll do a live. We'll do an actual interview, an actual episode. You know, well, we got something. We do have a
We're gonna
bunch
have
of
sound
interviews backlogged. Like we have a lot of materials, so be on the lookout for that.
Maybe that'll be released sometime soon.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it feels great to be back. We're so happy that this band that we are not making a podcast about is on fall tour. And we are so thankful that each one of you tuned in as we get back into the swing of podcasting. We will be back. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, season 3.
Season 3 coming soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Visions of a memory past, concepts related in contrast. If only there was a way I could bring you there today.
Osiris.